to a warm Odsel for game 15 of Super League 99. Tonight we are hosting the Hull Sharks, who arrive here with just 1 point from 14 games. The Bulls have just 1 defeat and 1 draw from their 14 matches, and have a good chance to go top of the table after Saints' defeat this afternoon at Gateshead. Just run through the teams quickly for you. I have with them, by the way, Steve and Brian, my co-hosts from the Hull Sharks, and they'll be calling the game from the Hull perspective. The Bulls have a full-back with us on the wings, Zisti and Price, centres Naylor and McAvoy, half-backs Robbie Paul and Deacon, the front row McDermott, Lowes and Harmon, the back three Dwyer, Jowett and McNamara. Interchange players for the Bulls, Bradford, Field and Boyle and Doniger. And Steve will read you the Hull Sharks team out.
Thank you very much, Mick. Just 2 changes from last week. Richard Horne moving to the bench with Gary Lester returning after injury, and a spot for Graham Hallis on the bench recovering after his thumb injury. The Hull side: Steve Prescott, Philly Sarah, Logan Campbell, Jamie Smith, Craig Poucher, Paul Cook and Gary Lester, Carl Harrison, Paul King, Steve Craven, Rob Roberts, Matt Schultz, Andrew Purcell. On the bench, Richard Horne, Richard Fletcher, Steve Barrow and Graham Hallis. The referee, Mr. Steve Nicholson. It's going to be Hull to kick off, Mick. And Bradford firm favourites, 120 points plus in the last 2 matches. But Hull had a very courageous display against Wigan last week, only narrowly losing 12-18.
It's ideal condition, Steve, for a game of rugby league. As you can see, the pitch is in almost immaculate condition. I don't know what Mr. Nicholson's waiting for. We have some delay. Oh, he's waiting for the hooter. And off we go. McDermott then with the first catch. Makes it out to the 10. Good chase from all. Dwyer. First time on track since April. People looking for a big game. Harmon. The Bulls have rested a few players today. After Wednesday is Jowett. Probably see Jowett running wider out later on in the game. Lowes spreads the ball to Deacon. Early kick. Deacon goes to the corner. That's good chase, Seru. Picks the ball up. He has 2, 4, 7 Bulls players in front of him, and they slam him down within his own 10. Well, that's a good kick and a chase. Prescott trying to fiddle a couple of yards, doesn't manage. He's tackled by McNamara. Seru wanted to pass the ball. It's his job to run from there. Bulls must keep on side, keep the pressure on. Here comes Craven. Good work underneath from Deacon. Run from King. Young hooker. Those good yards, vital yards, but still trapped well within the 40. The Sharks. Ball goes back, nice play. Going to Prescott. Prescott looking for the 40-20. This will go to Price. Price with a chance to run, and then again a great chase from Hull. Good line, solid and straight. And that's a good chase, Steve, from Hull.
It certainly was. Both sides kicking deep and chasing and making it hard for the opposition to get out of their own danger area. This is Bradford doing it now, but assisted by the first penalty of the match for offside. Deacon is very alert. So too was Steve Prescott. This is Jowett. Tackled by Carl Harrison and Rob Roberts, just short of Hull's 30-metre line. On offside again against Hull. This one well within kicking range. Carl Harrison starting discussion with the referee. Brian, I remember at Huddersfield, Carl, better watch this. The away game at Huddersfield, they got on the wrong side of Mr. Nicholson and didn't do any good at all.
No, he didn't. Well, it's the 3rd time we've had him, and he made us at least for penalties. He hasn't started off very promisingly so far here, has he?
So it's Steve McNamara. What should be a relatively straightforward kick for him. McNamara, first success, 2 points to the Bulls. Missed the midweek game at home against London, but of course he, along with Lee Radford, who's on the bench for Bradford today, former Hull players, will be very keen to make an impression. So Steve Prescott to restart again. Existing. Took the ball up well, but well tackled by Harrison and King. Harmon. Oh, and a good hit by King. Lowe's to Dwyer. Schultz over the top. Paul Cook underneath. Lowe's going on the short side. This is Scott Naylor, the former Salford centre. Makes the 40-metre line. Lowe's. Deacon. Well, that's a good tackle by Roberts. The kick from Lowe's. Feature of Bradford's game is they've got a number of very competent kickers. It's difficult to shut that aspect down. This is Prescott being dragged back by Naylor. From dummy half comes Craig Poucher. First penalty of the game to Hull. Offside against Bradford. It's Paul King who takes the quick tap. Leicester acting half. Craven. Craven gets a nice ball out of the tackle to Purcell, but he couldn't quite handle it. Bradford back with the ball. Just short of the halfway line. Promising attack by Hull, O'Brien.
Yeah, it was, but a bit of a chancy pass really. Or if it goes to hand, but under some pressure then. McNamara out to the 40. Tackled by Carl Harrison. Deacon goes. Just ankle tap, then Paul Cook gets to him and Leicester brings him down. Up the blind, McNamara, nice ball. To Naylor. Paul. Tackle, last tackle. McNamara, high one, a bit to Serro, who takes it well, so it'll be a tap on the 20. Accurate kick by McNamara, but Serro well underneath it. So, McNamara coming off, is he? Might have a cut on his head, I think. And Radford on. Craven. Waited. Ref Tushard says play on. McDermott plays it.
I don't understand that decision at all. Mr. Nicholson had no idea what was happening. The players weren't quite sure. Linesman obviously called the play, and McDermott ended up with the ball. I have no idea how that came about, but a good position for the Bulls. Robbie Paul trying to work a bit of magic. Ball goes to ground, just couldn't link in with Naylor, tried to pop the ball up, and as Naylor came in field and lost his footing. So this is where Hull are going to have to do it tough. This is where the Bulls have been very strong all season, and that's the second time they've been caught for offside. Matthew Elliott won't be happy with that, because they haven't been giving penalties away in those positions. And it's essential that you don't keep teams pinned down and make them anxious. Here comes Craven, hit the ball up, good run. Chances. Leicester to Addison, falls to Lowe's tackle. Well, back to Leicester, switches play. This is Purcell, inside to Serro. Good work from McAvoy. McAvoy cleaned everybody up then. No real direction on the play. Bit flat on the play there, Steve.
Yes. Probably executing that a little bit too close to the touchline, but very well read. So the scrum to form, 30 metres from the Bulls line. Joe, well taken. Jowett, I think it was, juggled with it. And it's been taken, Bradford, sorry. And it's been taken by Jamie Smith. So he'll get a new set of 6. Off goes Prescott after slip ball from Campbell. Prescott going to the corner, but going to be dragged into touch. That was a good attack, but it's ended up with Bradford possession. There really wasn't quite the room on the outside for Prescott there, Brian.
I was quick enough to get outside initially, but the cover was always going to get across to him, and the angle he was running, he was always going to get pushed into touch. So that was a waste. But Bradford back on the 10. Deakin to feed. Bradford. Harmon. Close to Dwyer. Good tackling by Hull. Oh, good tackle by King. And Dermot. Deakin. Last tackle. James Lowe should find touch, he does. Nice kick by Lowe's, finds touch on the 20.
Yeah, it's interesting, Steve, that the Bulls in the last few matches have been scored in early on in the games and putting intense pressure on the teams. It's just not quite worked out today. It just seems like they're lacking the presence of Henry Ball. Just a few changes just disrupted the play a little bit, and they don't look as tight, certainly with the ball, as they have done in recent weeks.
It's just 1 or 2 fumbles, haven't they, really, by both sides have not played through their sets yet. Here comes Craig Poucher off the wing. Some pretty good yards from the scrum. Roberts with a very good return after his 3-match ban last week against Wigan. An outstanding game. King finds Craver. This time Carl Harrison offloads to Schultz. 3 Bradford men in the tackle. Cook. Height on that, it's on to Price, who collects it well. Plenty of promising youngsters in the game on show today. Hull have got their show, and here's Leon Price, who certainly looks a fine talent in the making, Mick.
Certainly does, he looks well, but he's got the ball in his hands. He's defended well too. Just picked an injury up in Sheffield. He hasn't been 2 seasons, he's back in tonight. Shows good pace, good vision, good composure too. Here goes Deakin into Radford. Nothing to come from that pass. Bulls stacking up to the right. Here goes Naylor. A little flat-footed, the Bulls. Could be that match during the week. That's a case of obstruction, but not play on, says the referee. Bulls chasing his own ball. A bit of scientific obstruction, just moves him out of the way. So he can Hull with the tough yards again with Serum. This is King, just working the ball. That's good work from King. Excellent work. That's turned the Bulls' defence. That's clever stuff. Here goes Roberts. Wasn't a nice challenge. He grabbed hold of him, didn't swing his arm. Just grabbed hold of his shoulder. It's a kick. Cook. Paul Cook. Again, Rice with a chance to wind up. Good chase there. And he's lost the ball. That will be knocked on. Price looking round and complaining, but it's up to Price to keep hold of the ball. So a good position for Hull here, Steve. Another turnover from the Bulls.
Yep, Hull growing in confidence in the game, picking up where they finished off last week. Looking notably tougher in the tackle. Well, they have certainly in most of the games this season. Cook to Smith to Lester. But Zisti comes across and reads it well, makes the tackle, assisted by Dwyer. Cook acting halfback. Schultz certainly had his best game of the season last Sunday. Campbell steps off the right foot, looks for an opening. Lester takes the ball up himself. Seem to remember in the corresponding fixture last year, he scored a very good try doing that. There's Carl Harrison. Carl Harrison, it comes back to Schultz, offside against Bradford on the 10-metre line. Well, Mick, the game hasn't really settled into much of a pattern yet. We're getting errors and penalties.
No, that's the third penalty the Bulls have given up for offside. We'll need to watch that. Mr. Nicholson showing how Taylor's going to keep both teams well back. So, Prescott to level the scores. 15 minutes gone. And he pulls that one. It's a light-up for the Bulls. That will be a drop out. And here we have an interesting alignment. Just 3 men across the 40 line, and the Bulls go deep. Surely there's a chance there's a case there for a short and drop off. You've got to be favourites if you've got 12 men on the 20 line and the opposition have only got 3 men on the 40 and nobody near them. Seru.
Come on, Bradford!
Harrison. Tackled by Dwyer. And the Sharks just beginning to get into the groove. As Craven comes, good yards from Craven. That's the second time he's found a soft spot in the ruck. This is King again. Good work from King. Ball's down. That's knock on, lost the ball. Well, it certainly is a scrappy game, Steve, as you've said. Both teams making unforced errors, really.
Yes, a number of knock-ons we're getting, and so it's Bradford this time. What can they do? It's Naylor. Well tackled by Campbell and Poucher. Dwyer. That's Schultz in hard. Short side is Naylor again. Second time he's handled in this set. Lowe's from dummy half finds Jowett. He's got a head of steam up Jowett here. Still going, Warren Jowett. Takes it to 25 metres from the whole line. Danger here. McDermott, Lowe's, Harmon, but all a bit sort of static. Harmon, however, almost gets his hands free. Tackled on the 20. It's the fifth and last. Lowe's smacking half back. Lowe's still going. Back inside to Naylor. Ball comes loose. It's picked up by Deacon, who goes for the kick. It's a good one onto Sorrow. Sorrow does a knock-on given. Well, I would have thought that went backwards. He was facing his own line. Well, that was a 50-50 decision. But he gives Bradford a great attacking position, Mick.
Certainly does, and good work from Deacon. Found himself up a blind alley, but didn't panic. Had a look round, put a good kick in. Under real pressure then, Seru. Perfect position too, just dropping before the try line. Here goes Robbie Paul looking to bring Withers in. Short side. Schultz has spotted that. The Bradford make good yards then. Robbie Paul looking to work an angle. That's good work from the winger. And Dermot goes for the line. Looks to pass. Tackle a metre short. And Harrison giving a penalty away then.
Maybe a bit of experience there. I think Carl Harrison suspected Hull were vulnerable to the 6 points and conceded the penalty.
Yeah, happy to go with the take the odds, go for the 2.
You don't often see a goal kicker taking the ball wider out than where the penalty was given. It's come out at least 3 or 4 yards. What a sporting man this lad is, Deacon.
He's so confident, Brian, that's what it is. Because he has got a good boot on him. And you're right. He's much closer to the post than the penalty. Looks good enough. Played some soccer in his youth, I believe. Paul Deacon, the way he strikes the ball shows that out. So the Bulls take the lead again. 4 points to 2. Oh no, 4-0, my apologies, 4-0. 21 minutes into the game. So stark contrast, Steve, with the Bulls' last 2 games. No tries yet.
Yeah, and Hull certainly tackling pretty hard. There's a drop by Lowe's, but that one certainly went backwards. Hull's marker defence has tightened up a lot in the last few weeks. Dwyer making good yards, tackled by Craven and Schultz. Arman is met well by Roberts, assisted then by King and Harrison. Lowe's to McDermott. Bradford working the flat passes very close to the ruck. Lowe's suspects there's a bit of room, puts in a big kick. Certainly Philly Serra looks as if he's going to be tested with the kicks. I think Bradford think that's a weakness. And certainly in some games Philly Serra has looked vulnerable under the high kick. Poucher goes off from dummy half. Steve Craven. Purcell, Harrison, Schultz. Bradford defence stands firm. Hull still just short of the 40-metre line. As Harrison takes it up, it's the 5th and last. Back to Cook. He's going for a 40-20, but Price is very deep. Didn't really get the angle on it, and Leon Price to return the ball. Does look a very athletic player. Makes good return. Zisti makes 12 metres, takes play into the whole half. Here comes Deacon. Quick play of the ball is a feature of Bradford's game. And Hull are trying to slow that. The referee awards a second penalty for holding down, so this is going to be a 3rd kickable penalty for Deacon. Carl Harrison speaking to Mr. Nicholson. I think interesting conversation going on there, Brian.
Well, I don't think Hull could complain about that. It was clearly holding down.
And again, I think it was a case of taking the percentages. He created good space at Deacon, and a quick play the ball would have seen the Bulls away on the left. Roberts knew that.
McNamara coming back on for Bradford.
And Cobb to him. So So Bradford goes back to the bench and McNamara takes the field.
So Paul Deacon successful with his third goal kick, and Hull 6-0 down. We've had just on 25 minutes of the game. I certainly think Bradford have looked, when they have held on to the ball, have certainly made yards forward a bit easier than Hull, Mick, and played more of the game in the Hull half.
Certainly have, Steve, but what's a little bit worrying is that when they get to the fifth tackle, they seem to run out of ideas. It seems that James Moses is finding himself with the ball on the fifth tackle and nobody commanding play, nobody calling the shots. And 4 or 5 times so far in this game, James Moses simply picked the ball up on the fifth tackle and played it off the cuff, which is okay at times, but it doesn't be a base game. You really should have more stuff going for you than your hooker making all the decisions on the fifth. Here goes McNamara to stab through. Oh, Price throws it through. McAvoy with a chase. McAvoy's favourite. That's a try. The in-goal touch judge has awarded a try. Good stuff from Price. And McAvoy used all his 6'4" then to stretch out and get his hand to the ball.
Yeah, a great kick by McNamara.
Yeah, superb stuff. Just come back on the field, just gave a little bit more direction. Perfectly weighted kick. And the Hull defence had really couldn't fault the Hull defence. It was superb stuff from the Bradford Bulls.
There was a race between Serrow and McAvoy. And looks at if McAvoy just got there first.
So that might settle the Bulls down and perhaps get them into the groove that they've been in for the last couple of matches. It's interesting that McNamara is taking over the goal kicking duties. After Deacon kick 2.
Need the ball in their hands and some possession inside the Bradford half. Zisti. Withers rather returns the ball. Dwyer. Floats to Deacon. McNamara. Well met. Perhaps needed another pass there, but it was on a penalty against Hull again. Time for stealing the ball. Referee didn't see it. Given by the touch judge. Carl Harris and Mr. Nicholson. He's got beginning to fall into the same pattern as that Huddersfield game, Brian, really.
Yeah, he is actually. Except the kick. Yeah, there we go. Deacon just finds touch just in the Hull half. Harman. Good tackle by Purcell. McDermott. McNamara. Drop off to Paul. Shower. Good run. On the 10. Lows. Touch judge said it's a try. I don't think the referee thinks it is. He's going to have a word with the touch judge. A penalty, I think, for double movement. I can't say I saw double movement. That was a let-off.
I don't see how he could have double moved here. His arms were clamped.
Yeah, never moved. It was either a try or it was held up.
Or he's dropped the ball. He could have dropped the ball, but
it's not a penalty.
He come up with a penalty.
Steve Craven has made as many yards as anybody for Hull. Harrison. Schultz, bit of room in front of him. Up to halfway, quick play the ball. That's Bell, got a bit of a roll on. Paul King goes again. Bradford markers offside. Steve Prescott. Well, the penalty can't have been there.
Well, the Bulls feeling the
another penalty
of Mr. Nicholson's judgment.
So Prescott will certainly go for goal, Mick. You'd expect him to get it.
You would do from this position, Brian. But that was a strange situation when Prescott ran forward with the ball at that last penalty. It must have taken the quick tap a good 20 metres in front of where the penalty was given. And I think Mr. Nicholson was beginning to crumble under Carl Allison's intimidation. It's good that this is Carl Allison. I've seen him when he was at Hull and when he was at Halifax. He gets onto a referee, shows out to all the crowd that he's going into the referee. The referee dared to send him off because he's not actually done anything wrong, and then feels he has to readjust his decisions.
Yes, well, we had the same little confrontation at Huddersfield. Carl Harrison didn't get the better of that, but Steve Prescott opens Hull's account. It's 10 points to 2. And certainly a game that's been strewn with penalties.
And most of them technical, Steve.
Yeah.
Very few personal fouls.
Steve McNamara to restart. Taken by Leicester, who finds Carl Harrison. Lowe's and Dwyer in the tackle. It's Marcel trying to make yards. Roberts. Craven into his stride quickly. But if we have a criticism of Steve Craven, it's been that sometimes he doesn't take the ball at pace, but my goodness, he has today. Really looked the part. It's a deep kick onto Sisti. Or is it Withers? Not Withers. Sorry, with the ball. And now McAvoy. Oh, certainly tackling hard. Craven seems to have taken a knock. Here comes Deacon. Just short of halfway. McNamara. Paul. Out to Naylor, gets away from Paul Cook. Chance here, Prescott's got Naylor inside to Henry Paul, and he's over, Robbie Paul, and he's over for a good try to Bradford. Really finished off by Robbie Paul, but very well made by Scott Naylor, Mick.
Good work from the centre. Looked as though he'd actually held on just a little bit too long, but he knew exactly what he was doing. Drew the full-back to him, just fended him off half then, released the one-handed pass. Straight scooting then for Robbie Paul. Short side attack then, just found that little chink. On the edges of the ruck. And Naylor being in excellent form, one of the players being in excellent form for the Bulls. Forcing his way through the defence then.
McNamara's conversion. It's the Bradford Bulls 16 and the Hull Sharks 2. It's an important 5 minutes for Hull, this, just before half-time. He's conceded a second try. Steve Barrow has come on and Steve Craven off. Well, I think Steve Craven's had a good 30 minutes, Brian.
Yeah, he's been very good. Made some good yards for Hull. So it'll be straight prop swap, prop for a prop, short kick. Doesn't go the 10. Be Bradford's penalty. McNamara fans touch, Hull back on the back foot.
Fielden, first touch of the ball, George Fielden, first touch of the ball, went crashing down that left-hand side, swatting tacklers up, kept going and made it to the line. Big future for this lad.
Showed a lot of power there, Fielden, tremendous power. He was half-checked twice, but he was always going to score.
Yes, I think you've got to question the wisdom of that short kick-off on that occasion. Hull have been tackling determinedly, giving away a try 5 minutes from half-time. The last thing they really wanted to do was to give Bradford such a good field position. The execution of that kick wasn't very good, and Bradford were immediately on the attack. Goal kick is missed, so the score remains at Bradford 20 and Hull Sharks 2.
Just a few minutes to go to half-time, and we see strange alignment here. Liam Price comes on from the left-hand side of the field, obviously favourite as a jumper, Leon Price. Good thinking by the Bulls coaching staff. It's good thinking that, Steve, bringing your best jumpers in to where they'll be needed most.
Yes, certainly is. Deacon and Bradford have stepped up a gear and certainly look more confident than they did in the opening 20. Fielden again. Lowe's. McAvoy. Bradford, I think, plays around the ruck and on the short side extremely well. McNamara gets it away to Jowett. Good last-ditch tackle by Schultz. Lowe's. Relentless roll forward by the Bulls. Paul with the kick. Onto Prescott, who takes it 5 metres from his own line. Poucher is at acting halfback. Gets out of Dwyer's tackle, but not Lowe's and McDermott. Schultz. King. Paul King makes valuable metres from acting half. Barrow. And a high tackle against the Bulls. And some relief for Hull, Brian.
Certainly is. Rob Roberts finds touch in the Bulls half. King. Schultz. Bad pass by Schultz to Poucher. Really a waste there.
Yeah, well, just had the young winger just overrun the ball, just a little bit anxious. He knew the move was on. Good set up, they weren't the angle, and they got the release. Had he have kept on side, Poucher, taken the pass, it would have been away. Worked that well, did all, apart from just that overrun from Poucher. So McNamara brings the ball away from the scrum as we come up to full time. Hasn't been many stoppages in the game. Won't be too much extra time. Here goes Dwyer. Gets a good pass away. Chance for Deacon to run. Got some towers, Deacon. Is quick off the mark. Sharks on the back foot now. Robbie Paul spins one wide to Jowett. Jowett rides one tackle, picks up. Falston, a good tackle from Seru. McDermott just didn't quite time his run. Last tackle. Laws will go short side, toes it through. They're on the chase and have to be played. There'll be a line drop out. Good pressure from the Bulls. And just beginning to look tired as we come up to half time, as we're waiting for the Who to hold. And a lot of chasing to do in this last 20 minutes. And it is a warm afternoon, no wind. Well, saying that, there's a slight breeze blowing from our left to our right. And that looked a tired drop out from Prescott. Dwyer. And if anybody should be looking tired, Steve, it should be the Bulls. Because they had a tough game. I know there were 74 points scored by the Bulls. But it was some tough tackling went on Wednesday night with the Broncos. But the Bulls have the advantage of a very big squad. And they've run a few changes. Got a few fresh fellas in. Here's one of them, McNamara. And Jowett coming on the angle, just couldn't take that. There goes the hooter. The Bulls lead 20 points to 2. And you'd have to wonder what Steve Cooks is going to say to his troops at half time, Steve, to lift the game.
Yes, the first 20 minutes was fairly even, with Bradford gradually establishing territorial position and chipping away with penalties. But certainly in the last 20 minutes, they've increasingly looked on top. Most of the play in the whole half, and Bradford growing in confidence, becoming more fluent and attacking with variety. I like the way they use the short side and round the ruck, but they've also started to move it wide effectively as well.
You're quite right, Steve, and that's what they've been doing the last 2 or 3 matches, is attacking across the width of the field, and they take some holding when they do that. So join us for the second half. Keep going, a good lad. Well worked out. What happens is a lot of people don't go dashing fast ball. No need. I'll come 100 mile an hour, there's no need. Because you've plenty of time.
So the teams back out for the second half. With the Bulls to kick off with this commanding 20-2 lead, and the worrying thing for Hull was that the more the first half went on, the more Bradford dominated. Hull desperately need to do something to stem the tide. Had relatively little possession in the second quarter of the game. It's Bradford kicking off, the high kick-off. And it's Bradford who come up with the ball. No, a knock-on given. Referee was going to wave play on, but the touch judge gave a knock-on. Plenty of height on that ball. Gary Lester to Paul Cook. Tackled by Withers. Schultz. Barrow makes the 40-metre line. That's the first receiver. Purcell drops off Jamie Smith. Nice ball, but it was well read by McNamara. Here's Seru from acting halfback. Bumps off one man and takes it into the Bradford half, but it's the 5th and last tackle. Comes to Cook. Goes to the air. What a good kick and a good chase from Hull, but very, very well taken by Withers. What a great take, and he returns the ball as well. Excellent fullback play, Mick.
Superb. Won't get a better kick and a better chase, you will not get a better catch. And there's a good return by 2-3 quarters. Withers and Price have brought the ball back up to the halfway in 2 tackles. Fielding. Cops a big shoulder then. Jowett off McNamara. Eye contact. No real intent. So the Sharks will be pressed back up against the line after this kick from McNamara. Puts it in on the 20. And I think the Bulls will be spreading this after a couple of drives. Here goes Fielding. McDermott will come for this one. Does so, fires it in, pushes the defence right back, 2 metres from the try line. Spread is on now, Deacon first receiver. Oh, it's the little short one for Dwyer. Well, that was easy spotted. Spread is on now though. Well, Laws decides not to spread it. And that's good position. Almost wasted, still have the ball though. Ball goes to McNamara, McNamara turns the ball into Dwyer. Dwyer looking to offload. And I think that was a case of too many drives to the line. The kick through, Deacon, oh, Robbie Ball tripped up then in play. Well, dearie me, well, that was a clear case of a trip on Robbie Ball as he was going through for the ball. Mr. Nicholson probably saw it different. Prescott with a better kick goes good 52 metres on the full. Here goes Fielding again. Look at this. Well, linesman then called touch, and I think Fielding had reached the ball before he went in. Although it wasn't good play from Fielding.
No, I think he was a bit overconfident that time. Well, that was he scored a brilliant try using. Well, I don't think he moved 2 metres from the touchline, but just too much to do there. Cook. Prescott. Drops off Campbell, but that's Robbie Paul in the tackle. Referee waves play on. Ball comes loose. Prescott fumbles, manages to hold on. Play just inside the Bulls' half. Leicester takes on the defence, but McDermott stands his ground and makes the tackle. Barrow gets offloads to King. It's put down by Lowe's. Ball using the short side. Purcell to Roberts. Flat pass. Fifth and last, just short of the 20 hole. Long ball out to Schultz. The last tackle, Prescott. But on the last tackle, Hull moving it wide, but didn't really move the Bradford defence around. And the Bulls with possession. And here's that man Price again, Mick.
Yes. Always looks as though he's a threat when he's got the ball. Zisti now comes in, and again, 2-3 quarters bring the ball up to the halfway. That's good work, good approach from the Bulls. Almost into Hull's red zone. There's Robbie Paul, spotted a gap. Ooh, Schultz did well then. That has to be interference. Not only interference, I think he was trying to undress Robbie Paul. He's being talked to. We saw then that Leicester spread a really wide ball, and I think Hull have got to, if they're going to get out of this game state, they've got a chance to them. They're not making any headway really in the middle of the field against the Bulls defence.
Well, they've got to get some possession first, Mick. I think that's the problem. Bradford dominating possession. Hull have started the half by giving away 2 more penalties. It's Bradford threatening McNamara. Tackled well by Purcell and lost the ball. It was a good tackle by Andy Purcell. Forced the error from McNamara. Well, if Bradford win this game, Mick, today, I think they go to the top of the table with St Helens has defeated Gateshead this afternoon.
Just by a point, Steve. It's a good position being halfway through the season, top of the table. The table beginning to take a steady shape about it, with the top 3 teams being there all the time. And then you've got Wigan, Castleford, Warrington and Gateshead all going to be fighting for that 4th and 5th spot. So it's going to be an interesting run into the season. And that makes it difficult for teams like Hull, who won't have the thing about the top 5 competition is, oh, it's good work from Hardlines from Madison, is that There are no easy matches coming to the end of the season, have there, Steve?
No.
Everybody's got something to play for.
Absolutely. Hull have got a sequence of very important games coming up at home against the clubs near the bottom of the table. It's Bradford again in possession. That's a good tackle on Fielden. Down low by Barrow. Jowett, who's proving to be a real handful today. Put down 13 metres away. Lowe's. Deacon. 5 metres away. Bradford in prime attacking position. McNamara, it's a kick through. Robbie Paul in chase. Craig Pouch, all he can do is kick it dead, and it's more pressure. Really, Hull being worn down. Craig.
Exactly, you're dead right, Stephen. That's what the Bulls have been doing all season. They've held the line. Nobody's really made much ground against them. There's only one match when anybody's carried the ball upfield with any regularity, and that was against St Helens. And that was coming off the back of 2 very tough games against Leeds. And that's exactly what they've done all season. They've worn teams down. They've not always played a lot of football, but they've always worn teams down and come away with the points. Goes now to Jowett. Jowett winds up, looking to get a pass away. That's either a late call from the referee or good work from Jowett. Close, short side. McNamara to McAvoy. McAvoy just comes inside, spins out to one, spins out to another. Too big, too strong, and 4 points. That's just a simple matter of just against Steve, just grinding it down. That team's just running out of steam, out of strength. And a big fella, McAvoy. Got to take him down first time.
I think his footwork was good there as well. Just stepped away, and 3 Hull men couldn't hold him. And
it's Gary Lester coming off. McNamara hits the post with his conversion attempt. So it's Gary Lester off, Richard Horn on. Old kick-off. McDermott, tackle short of the 20. James Lowe's off, and Lee Radford on for his second taste. Boyle on for Bradford as well. It's Donaher. Ball. Drops off Jowett. Oh, must be tackled. Yeah, it was silly then, I think. Yeah, I don't have any question about that. Just got carried away, I think. Jowett was being a real thorn in Hull's side. There's still actually else argue with the referee.
Yeah, well, that's what happens if Peter Nicholson allows Carl Harrison to stand there. Referees have got to be firm right from the start. And of course, Robbie Paul's going to do it. He's going to come in and add his 2 penneth and show out. Put some pressure on the referee. There's no question that was a penalty. As you say, Jowett just saw plenty of green grass in front of him and couldn't resist another charge. Schultz going to the short side, looking to offload, does so. On the field, young half-back who's had a lot of big raps since he's coming to the first team. And it's a big ask, asking youngsters to come into teams that are losing. It's one thing coming to him with inside, it's coming to a side that's struggling. Carl Harrison makes no yards there, McDermott slams him down. Ball goes to Purcell. Purcell drifting across, nice step. Tackle underneath though from Deacon. Serro now has a charge at the line. Good tackle from McAvoy. Got underneath and put a shoulder on him. Purcell first receiver, spreads it to Roberts. Roberts drops the ball.
Bradford back in possession.
Jamie Fielder to play the ball. Withers bringing the ball out. Once again, Mr. Nicholson brings the team for offside. And just one or two old players just beginning to look tired, Brian.
Yeah, they are. And they're defending again. Damn it. Hoyle. Oh, Robbie Paul. He's got McAvoy outside. Ball inside. Paul will score. Easy try that.
And Robbie Paul's his very, very best. He does that so often. Just gets out of the grass, plays a grasp at him, and he just pulls away that extra inch and gets away. Superb football. Release McAvoy. McAvoy kept his head. Could have served his winger, but turned the ball back inside to Robbie Paul. And looking at every defeat now, Hull. Beginning to get into gear now, the Bulls.
Hull do well to withstand this pressure. They're not really facing a rout at the moment. Converts.
So, 25 minutes to go. Well, they're going to have to batten down the hatches, or they're going to ship a lot of points. They'll have to get right into the Bulls' face to stop them running away with it. Jowett again. Good tackle. Oh, that wasn't Jowett, sorry, that was Bradford. So McDermott. Can't mistake McDermott. Open run. Robbie Paul now spreads the ball to McNamara. McNamara toes one through. Jowett on chase. That's obstruction. Well, I thought Mr. Nicholson had spotted the obstruction. Was waiting for advantage. And well, every man offside then. They want to Bradford man 5 metres back then, never mind 10. This time they get back 10. Horn, first receiver. Looks to spread the ball, then tries a little cut through. McDermott does well to bring him down. Barrow working his way up the rope. Just lost a little bit of structure. Lost the baton. Roberts spreads the ball to Purcell. But they're being under pressure. It is a warm day. When you're defending, it takes a lot out of you. Good pass from Roberts to last tackle. Beginning to spread the ball. That's Prescott with a speculator. Kicks it high, chase. Oh, look at that! Oh, wonderful play! Oh, unlucky, and that fella's hurt himself. He's gone to the post. Well, that's a shame for you, Cook. Well, that's a shame for the young man. Magnificent work. Virtuoso play from Prescott. You won't see better than that. And it's just a shame that the young man couldn't pick the try up. After supporting that, just lost the ball as he went into that padding round the posts. So there's a case, I think, Steve, that we could improve on. Why don't we use American posts? We don't need the bottoms now. Why can't we put the post round to the back? We don't need posts on the try line. They're dangerous. The way these guys run now, 50, 60 mile an hour, as they're coming in, or 30, 40 mile an hour, whatever it is, they're really flying. Somebody could be carrying a real knock on them posts.
I'm sure Paul Cook would agree with you, Mick. That was great work by Prescott and good support by Paul Cook. He's backed up these kicks very well. Scored a good try last week against Wigan. Similar way, and that's certainly gone forward. Bit of misunderstanding between Robbie Paul and his outside man. Was it Jowett who got in the way of the pass? Bradford defending out of this scrum. possession. Cook, Prescott, tackled by Boyle. Here comes Schultz, driving it up. Full of rare spell of sustained pressure. Craven, who's come back on. Missed. Oh, he's come on back on for Carl Harrison, who's played 60 minutes. Horn switches direction, takes them on. Richard Horn, is he over? He is. What a good individual try by Richard Horn. And there is, I think, make a sign of his class.
Absolute class. That was superb footwork, good vision from Horn, stepping and weaving his way around. And you have to ask why wasn't that guy on from the start for me? There's a guy who can break defences up, which is what you need. There's no good waiting while your match is lost to put your best line breaker on. If you're going to protect him, don't put him on the field in the first place.
And there's no question that on form he's that's his first try, and what a well-deserved one. He's supplied one or two in the last few weeks.
Well, he didn't look to need much protection there, Steve. He took the ball with a full defensive line in front of him and completely decimated it.
Paul Cook is coming off, I think, after that collision with the post. Doesn't look too badly hurt. Gary Lester, I think, has gone back on, has he? So, full up to 8 points. And McNamara goes again for this short kick-off. Roberts does well. And here's Purcell. Barrow, who's run pretty hard for Hull this afternoon. Roberts working around the ruck, quick offload. Ball goes back, says the referee. Paul Cook picks up, plays it on the 40-metre line. Here comes Craven. Almost up to the halfway line. He's wrestled down by Fielden and McNamara. Horn, short side. Again tries to take on the defence. Offloads to King. To Purcell, rather. Roberts. Nearly a good ball to Schultz, but it's picked up by Campbell, who finds Poucher. Poucher's put down on the 30. It's the 5th and last tackle. Will Hull go to the air again? Not a great pass, but Leicester with the bomb. Quite a good one. It's on to Leon Price, who takes it well, and he's away. Now Roberts coming across, he steps inside him. Horn makes half a tackle. Price still going. Great return of the ball by Price, Mick. Well, we're seeing two young players of tremendous quality in both sides.
Oh, we have more than two, Steve. Don't forget Fielden's only a 19-year-old, Deacon's only a 19-year-old. Bradford's not, as you know, he's not much older if he is. So a lot of young players on the field today, Steve, for both teams. And all have acquitted themselves very well. Robbie Paul. Deacon now to McNamara. McNamara gets it back to Deacon. He feeds Withers. Withers well. Last tackle. The ball's loose. Just Deacon's no idea what's happened. Nice goal to knock off. Yeah, you're right, Ryan. There's a tendency to dwell a little bit on what's behind him, isn't it, Nicholson, rather than what's in front of him. So, chance for the Bulls to get the ball back. Sorry, I mean for the Sharks to get the ball back.
So it's Hull. Graham Hollis. Almost up to the halfway line. Roberts. Nice pass to King. It's it almost to the 40. Leicester. Craven. Horn. What will he do this time? This time it's a kick. Fielded well by Withers. And Schultz in the tackle. Bradford starting this attack on their own 20-metre line. Harmon is back on for Bradford, takes it over the 40. Boyle inside and Bradford on the halfway line. Paul injects acceleration into the attack up to Hull's 40-metre line. McNamara slips the ball to Radford. Radford nearly away, gets the ball away to Jowett. Tackle on the 10-metre line. It's the last tackle. Will we see a kick or will it go through the hands? McNamara to McAvoy, and it's McAvoy into the corner. He is. Got outside Seru and scores in the corner. And a bit of a fight going on between Hallis and somebody or other. But a good Bradford try, well worked, make that last tackle, moved it through the hands nicely.
Yeah, and a good great pass, late pass from McNamara. Got McAvoy away. McAvoy again using all his size and strength. Just went for the line, held his position, got the ball down. Didn't have much room to work in, but no intention of stepping into touch.
So it's a hat-trick for Nathan McAvoy. Some good form.
McNamara, right on the junction of the 20 and the sideline, and that's as good a kick as you get. Right over the top, inside the left-hand post. The Bulls go up to 36.
So it's Steve Prescott with the kick-off. Here's Donner. Makes a 20-metre line.
London 44, Sheffield 12. Gateshead 32, St Helens 20.
Oh, and here's Jowett, who for me has been just about Bradford's man of the match, Mick. Has made tremendous progress.
Yes.
Always looked dangerous.
Yeah, he's looked a threat every time he had the ball. Every time he comes to the line, it looks as though he's going to break through. And it's good to see him hitting a bit of form. Here goes Deacon. Deacon's got some toe. Prescott's going to get him though. Good work from Prescott. Excellent full back play. He's come up with the ball. Superb football. Well, that's a penalty. You can't just give him the ball back. It's got to be a penalty. It's not schoolboy football. Oh, dearie me, that really is untidy refereeing. You can't have sellies in Super League, Steve.
No, it was tremendous work by Steve Prescott. First to make the tackle on Deacon after a wonderful Bradford break, and then to pinch the ball.
And then to have it pinched back from him, Deacon, the referee say give him the ball back. Well, you do that at under-8s, but you don't do it in Super League.
Leicester beats the first man, but Harmon makes a good tackle, and that's the turnover.
Come on, Bradford!
So Radford takes the ball up. David Baldry coming for this one. Not had much of the ball since he's been on the field. To Donegan. Gets one out the back door to Deacon. Deacon steps again, weaving his way through. Just not Sharks defence not coming to the ball very quick now. Here comes Armand, turns the ball back in for Fielding. Fielding almost through. You can see the Bulls sniffing that whitewash. And a penalty against Roberts. It's not the first time he's been penalised for interference. Running this ball, not going for the 2 points. Deacon tells, Bobby Paul tells Deacon to put it into touch, does so. Kicks it backwards. The Bulls will start from the 12. Here goes Armand. Just drags that defence to our side of the field. Jowett will drive it in again. Here goes Jowett, and he brings it in again, attacks the same point. Just trying to create an hole in that defence. Donegal will come now, take it, same area, this time it's Armand, so that's 3. But it's not worked, the line's still set, spread on now. Deacon, well, not everybody working to the same script on that move. Deacon had the ball, there was nobody to pass to. Robbie Paul now, to Fielding, offloads. To Withers. Strains it up, last tackle. Back in direction in this 6, the Bulls. Goes to Deacon again. Finds Naylor. Well, it's good defence.
Great defence, and a real rap for Andrew Purcell, though, who made 4 tackles in that set of 6. And at this stage of the game, I think that's a terrific effort. Steve Barrow tackled on his own 10-metre line. King goes off from acting halfback. Archer. Next to 20, Bradford really defending fiercely here. Hull finding it difficult to make yards. Richard Horn puts in the kick. Straight to Withers, who returns the ball pace, gets out of Campbell's tackle and out of King and gets it away to McAvoy. Is it again? And he's over again. And Hull really, Brian Atkin, the defence on the Hull's left just folded.
Yeah, did. People were out of position when they chased the kick, broke the field, and he ran very well. But really, it's a try that shouldn't have happened. I suppose wouldn't have happened if the defenders have been fresh.
Good work from Withers though. He spotted there wasn't. He could see they hadn't come up. It wasn't a good chase. It was a tired chase. Brian picked a man out, went at him full pace, full power, broke the tackle and got away. And McAvoy came up like his team, same on the outside, and was all over then.
So it's Steve McNamara.
McAvoy's fault. McAvoy's fault. Try that, Brian.
Yeah, Mitch just reminded me, 4th try for Nathan McAvoy. It was certainly difficult to stop with a bit of room. Big long striding centre. Steve McNamara converts to bring the score to Bradford 42, Hull 8.
That brings the Bulls up to 29 tries in 3 games. That's not bad in Super League, for anybody's money. It sets them up well for next week when they go to Leeds, Friday night.
Richard Fletcher just come on for Hull, and Rob Roberts gone off. And Fletcher into the tackle. Deacon to Bernard Dwyer. McNamara. Tackled by Purcell. Donoghue. Alice makes the tackle, last tackle. Bradford just short of the whole 40. McNamara kicks for Paul. Oh, brilliantly taken by Prescott. Great bit of play by Steve Prescott. Good take and makes 30 metres as well. And Robbie Paul injured in the chase. Steve Barrow. Yeah, I think Fielden had a little bit of a go at Barrow then. But, Robbie Paul having treatment in backfield. Looks as though he's turned his ankle, I think. Looks as though he's turned his ankle.
Official attendance figure for this evening, 11,757.
So it's Paul King going for touch. All on the Bradford 20.
The only place to be is Odsal. Why? Because we're top of the league.
Craven. Schultz. Leicester switches. Horn. So Logan Campbell. Oh, good football, and Schultz over for the try. Good football by Hull. Good pressure passing there. Well timed running.
Yeah, took the ball to the line and released the man.
Yeah, Horn took the ball to the line, flat ball to Campbell, strong enough to get out. A tackle to and a ball to Schultz. Good finish this by Hull. Certainly not giving it away, Steve. Was it? Sorry, I was giving Schultz the credit for that. It was Steve Barrow. But Steve Prescott makes the conversion to give the score a little bit more respectability from Hull's point of view. Steve McNamara to restart. In the last couple of minutes of the game, the crowd's starting to go home. McNamara, short one, good one. Oh, well taken by Richard Fletcher. Long pass, Campbell. Leicester. Campbell. Steve Barrett tries to score it. Bang down that time. Craven. Gary Leicester. To Campbell, to Purcell. Poucher, Schultz. Chips, Schultz. Ball bounces well for him. Oh, he can't quite collect it though. The Bradford tackler does. And Craig Poucher makes the tackle. Bradford just be content to play this 6 out. Donoghue. Bradford for the next run. Donoghue. Dwyer. Steve Barrow. Oh, picked up by Gary Leicester. Chance here. Bradford cover the danger at well then. Poucher. Horn. On. Oof. Richard Fletcher missed the ball then. Ball picked up by Scott Naylor. Not Scott Naylor, sorry, Boyle. Fielden. Harmon onto the flat ball. McNamara, good ball. To Radford. Oh, Just holds onto the ball. Horn tries to take it off him in the tackle. Bradford coming left. McNamara again. Good tackle by Hull. Should be the last tackle, I think. Referee hadn't signalled. There must be one more. Gone ahead. Tackle short. Last tackle, McNamara. Deacon chips through. Should be Gary Lester's ball. It's Steve Prescott finally makes it dead. But good pressure by Bradford.
Just remind you, our next home game for JJ Super League, Friday the 25th of June, and that's when we play host to St Bernard and his merrymen from St Helens.
Prescott to restart. Into injury time now. Well into injury time. Prescott. Oh, well taken by Bernard Dwyer. Tackle by Horn and Campbell. There's a hoot goes. End of the game with Bradford victorious by 42 points to 14. They've never looked like losing, Bradford. Always in control of the game.
Yes, an opening 20 minutes which was scrappy, and Bradford established ascendancy with a variety of attacking play. I think Hull have held on pretty well in the second half. It looked at one stage it might be swamped. Come back with two very good tries in the end. So again, some encouragement for Hull, but the Bulls are certainly a formed team, definite top three, firm Premiership contenders. So from Mick McGowan, Steve Olsen and Brian Hall will hear at Odsal a reminder of the final score: the Bradford Bulls 42, the Hull Sharks 14. It's goodbye.